Well, that's a lot of kit. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my next video. Today, I'm getting set up for a photo shoot I'm doing first thing in the morning. Now, I'm not going to go through all this kit now. Wait till the end of the video to see all of this kit. But this shoot is going to be amazing. I'm working with a model, and this is a shoot to show you what you need and what you can do if you're working alone, you don't have any assistants and stuff like that. There's a lot of kit, and being organised is essential. So wait till the end of the video to see me go through all of this kit while it's here before I pack it all into my bag, and let's get straight into the photo shoot. And here we are on the photo shoot. It's very early in the morning, the sun hasn't even risen yet and it is freezing out. My model, Jenny, she was absolutely amazing, but she was frozen. So in this video, I'm going to give you all of the stuff I used, all of the equipment I used, the techniques I used. That's later on, so stick with that. I'm also going to show you the pictures I got from this video. If you want to see the video of the behind the scenes of the actual shoot itself, that video is already out. Go and look at my channel, go and have a look. So as it happens here, I have two lights set up. The light I'm at the moment is the main light. Obviously without an assistant, and that's what this video is about, you have to do everything yourself. I'm back and forth to that light. The other light is where I'm at the moment. That light is around the corner, you can't quite see it. You'll see it a bit later on in the video. That is just my speed light on a stand. That is going to be lighting the model from the front. That doesn't have to be really strong light. I just want to add enough so it looks natural. Adding a bit of contrast back into my subject rather than having her a full silhouette, which is not what I want for this shoot. The light you see in the picture at the moment, that big light there, is a 600 watt Godox, but I don't use it all. There's not enough light to use it all. I'm just shining some light back onto the back of my model, and it's just going to give her a little bit more light from the rear. So she's going to be backlit, with the main light going to be the backlight. It's an unusual setup. It's a very elaborate setup. It would help if I had assistance. You see I'm back and forwards to my camera, trying to make sure I get the light just right. And now I have the light right, I'm going to get into the shoot itself. I am going to sit with my camera, take the pictures. I'm going to go back and forwards if I can. At this point in time, I'm going to show the model the pictures I've just got on my camera, and I'm using my phone. So I've actually connected my phone via the Wi-Fi, via the Play Memories, I think it is, app for Sony. That is going to allow me to go back and forward to the model between shots, so I can show her what she's getting, because models really want to see the pictures that they're getting so they can adjust maybe their posture, certain pose, and that's what this is about. So I can be mobile, back and forth to the camera. I don't need to move the camera to the model, importantly, that stays where it is, and I don't need to move the model to the camera to show her the images. Once the lighting is right and we've decided on a couple of poses that we think are working with the camera and the setting that we're in, I then go back to the camera, let the model derobe, because she is actually wearing very little underneath that. This is a implied nude shoot as such. It's very tasteful. I don't do anything that's glamour or anything like that. Now comes the tricky part, because we now have to move locations. I have 3 locations in mind for this shoot, and yeah, without an assistant this has become a laborious task. We have to work fast because the model is cold, and we have to move everything and get enough of the photo shoot in the time that we have. You see me running back and forwards here. This is because the light I have lighting the front of the model, my little speed light, which is on a stand, is actually too bright. It's on the lowest setting, but it's too bright. It's overexposing my model too much from the front, which is not going to look natural. When we're backlit, you see the sun is coming out as we speak right now. I don't want to light the model too much from the front, because it would just look way too unnatural. Again, moving once again to our now 3rd location. I have to pick up the main light. The model, bless her, she's moving stuff for me as well. Jenny is fantastic. She picked up loads of stuff and started moving all my gear as well, which is brilliant. Without an assistant, this is becoming a lot of time, not potentially wasted, because between these little location shoots, I'm thinking about what we're going to be doing next. Let's get to the 3rd location. Now we're set up for the third location. The sun is risen a bit higher in the sky. There's a lot more light behind my model, although she's currently in shadow. So my light that's going to be lighting the model from behind is going to be acting like an artificial sunlight. Again, doing its job, lighting from the back. And I'm going to just, and you can see I've replaced the speed light back in the foreground of the model just to light her again. I may need to move these things around again after you've set up. I have to go back to my camera, take some test shots, make sure the light's working right, then go back and forwards to the lights and move them further away potentially if I can't adjust them on the trigger itself. It is just a very, very tricky thing to do. I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes. Stick around for the images, they're coming right next. Then after that I'm going to give you all the gear I used and how I used it. Okay, so here you see my Sony A7R4 on the Sony 70-200 G Master lens, which is a fantastic lens that is actually set up in portrait, as you see, ready to go tomorrow, because it has to be put on, has to be mounted onto the kind of arm, the leg of the lens itself, because it's so heavy. You wouldn't want to mount it on the bottom of your camera. You'll be top heavy, you'll be struggling all day long. So other things I have here, other essential bits of kit, let's move that over for a second. We've got the Sony G Master 85 1.4, which is an incredible portrait lens. And I have my Sigma 35, which I love this lens. It's great for environmental portraits. Fantastic. It's going to give me a slightly different shot to these other two lenses, which is good if I use it. Now, let's look at lighting. This is my Godox 600 B. This is now a fairly old system, but it's very reliable. In there I have a Neo 1, which I still like, and I've got my other light up there, which I'll show you in a second. But this thing is going to be behind my my model tomorrow morning, and you would have seen in the pictures I'm trying to get some rim light, some light like it's coming from the sun at sunrise. Over here there are a few triggers in there, but they're not the trigger I'll be using there for other systems. But this is a kind of beauty dish type thing with a grid on it. This is gonna be what sits behind the model. It's wetting a little bit. Sits behind the model, and that'll be giving me my behind light direct on the back of the model, which is what it's there for. I'm also going to be taking my my Westcott rapid box. This is a soft box. I don't know whether I'll need to use it, probably not, but we'll see. I'll have it just in case. It'll be in the car. So my other light that's going to light my subject, which you would have seen in camera, is just a very, very simple speed light with a little soft box. This is the Magmod system I use for weddings and stuff like that, but that's going to give me a little bit consistent light in the front of my model to fill her back in ever so slightly, not a lot. I still want my model to look like she's almost silhouetted, because I don't want to make it look unnatural, unrealistic. But enough light coming from this, so I don't need a lot. I can just use a speed light for that, and that'll be in front, off, left, I would imagine, if you'd have seen in the video. And that's just got a clamp, which clamps onto a normal, like a light stand. So let's go to the other kit I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using a GoPro to get some background footage for you, so you would have seen background footage if you've watched the video already. If you haven't, worth going back. That'll get the sort of wider angle shots from behind the scenes. I've also got a chest mount in case I want to chest mount it. Extra battery which is charged just there. I've got a case for it in case it rains. I can put it in a case. Let's have a look. I have here a scope cam. I use this for airsoft, but I've recently bought a hot shoe mount for it to go onto the camera. That will sit on here with my trigger, which goes on there. But so that will go on first. This will trigger my lights, both my lights. That will go onto there, like so. This will fit onto there. It's a very elaborate setup, but it saves me having someone doing close-up video footage. This takes video at the same kind of focal length as a 200, so when I'm zoomed in at 200 you get a similar kind of video. It's only 1080p, but it's good enough for what I need it for. And it's also going to get, it will be on the side, so it will be vertical, but that's fine because for social media that's going to be pretty amazing. I'm going to take an extra trigger in case I need an extra trigger. This is just for the camera, not necessarily needed while I've got this on there, because I'm going to be using my phone. You would have seen on the video that I was actually using my phone to take pictures. I'm not going to be hitting the trigger here. I'm not going to need this, hopefully. And actually, when I tried to use this and test this, when I've got all this set up on here, it didn't really work too well. So I'm probably going to take it and not use it, but it's worth having in the bag. I've got an L bracket, mainly used for landscapes, but if I take it out anywhere, it's mainly used for my landscapes. However, for portrait photography as well, if I take this lens off and put one of these two on and still want to use a tripod, this is going to become a vital bit of kit. I have a phone mount for my camera, hot shoe mount, so I can put that on there if I wanted to. I can even take this off and put this on, so I can put my phone mounted onto my camera if I wanted to. Don't see that happening, but it's worth having it anyway. Really good bit of kit, very cheap, but really good. And a head torch in case I need it. And out of all that kit, lastly, this is just a bag. You see my bag is there, which is currently empty because I need to put all this kit in there. That is just going to keep me dry if it starts raining. I don't foresee it starting raining. Other bits of kit that's worth having for this type of shoot when you don't have an assistant. You've got a model coming down who's going to be changing potentially quite a bit. I've got a couple of outfits there for. They're both sheer, which you would have seen in the video by now. So these will be see-through, so the light coming from the back will shine through, and you'll see an almost body-scaped fine art kind of the shots that I took. Jacket for me. I've got two of these bare feet. Funny enough, two of these, 1, 2. They're for putting on the ground, and for the model to stand on when she needs to get changed potentially, or for kit to go on so the kit doesn't get wet, because the ground is probably going to be, there's going to be a lot of dew on the ground. And this is an Osprey Surf dry robe, so the model can get changed inside something so she's not exposed and or can stay warm. So that is all my kit for this shoot. I've just spent 6 minutes explaining that, so that's 6 minutes extra on my video. I'm sure you didn't need it. All the bits and pieces here, if I can find links to any of these bits and pieces, I will leave them in the description. If not, there is a gear list on my website that has most, at least, of the camera stuff. All this stuff will be on there. But if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. And I just want to say a massive thank you for being part of my channel recently. I've grown substantially in the last month or two, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be contacted by some of you lovely ladies and gentlemen. Leave a comment down below if you've got any questions. If you like this video, please whack a thumbs up, that always helps. And share it if you can, that would be fantastic. Sharing my videos is vital nowadays because it's getting very competitive on YouTube. So if you don't mind sharing this video with your social media peoples, that would be fantastic. And if you haven't done so, please consider subscribing, hit that notification button so you get notified every time I upload a new video. That would be amazing. And I hope to see you boys and girls on another video soon. Try out this kind of stuff yourself. You know, push yourself to get those shots. I haven't done a model shoot like this in a very long time. Thankfully, I have a wife who's very enthusiastic about my photography journey in my career, and she's happy for me to do the shoots. She knows that I'm always professional, and I will always approach these shoots professionally. But she knows I like to do these shoots because I can show you boys and girls, you know, what you need, how to set up, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Bye.